Welcome to the Isle of Wight, one of the crown jewels of the south coast of England. Known for its pleasant climate, stunning coastal scenery, rich history, as well as its enchanting chines, the island is a popular tourist destination. So join me on a weekend break to explore the very best this captivating destination has to offer. Are you ready for the adventure? Let's go! Well, good morning, fellow travelers. Today we are setting off on a thrilling weekend getaway to the Isle of Wight, and you're all invited to come along. Last night, we picked up a rental car at Heathrow Airport and we drove down the M3 to Southampton. While at Southampton, we treated ourselves to the sail away of MSC Euribia at Mayflower Park. We stayed overnight at Doubletree by Hilton, Southampton, and this morning we're ready to embark on the next leg of our journey, a car ferry to the Isle of Wight. If you're considering bringing your car along to the Isle of Wight, you will find there are two options. The first one is the Wight Link from Portsmouth, where the ferry service will take you to Fishburn on the Isle of Wight. The journey time is 40 minutes and is a bit more expensive than the next option. But the second option, which is the one we are taking, is the service over by Red Funnel, which goes from Southampton to East Cowes on the Isle of Wight. The crossing takes a bit longer, 55 minutes, but it's slightly cheaper, and for us, it just fits our plan much better. Well, we just arrived at the ferry terminal for Red Funnel. By the way, if you're new to this channel, I'm Ken, and I share travel tips that I discover during my travels, as well as honest reviews for flights, cruises, and hotels. Well, we're back inside the car now, and we're just waiting for our turn to get out now. Well, welcome to the Isle of Wight. We just got out of the ferry. We're now driving straight to our first attraction, which is probably the most iconic one on the Isle of Wight, the Needles. Visible from various vantage points, the Needles Rocks stand as some of the most photographed rock formations in the UK, if not the world. Towering proudly and majestically, this row of three distinctive chalk stacks has captured the imagination of visitors to the island for centuries. Well, here we are at the Needles. There are lots of different attractions here apart from the actual Needles. We're gonna check it out. One of the best ways to experience the Needles Rocks is to embark on a boat trip. These boat trips are run by a company called Needles Pleasure Cruises. To access these cruises, we'll need to get down to Alum Bay, the beach below first, and we'll be taking the chairlift to do so. While there are steps leading to the beach, the signage suggested that they were temporarily closed. Riding the chairlift down to Alum Bay is a spectacular experience. From up here, you get a spectacular perspective of the stunning chalk cliffs and the colorful sands below. And it does save you the trek up and down the steep cliffs. There are two cruises available. The first one is a 15-minute exhilarating trip on a Zodiac boat. This one goes on the yellow route, as you can see on the map. However, the sea was rather rough that day, so most people, including us, opted for the second option, which is a 20-minute slower cruise on a bigger boat. Well, for the last few days, they haven't been able to run these boat trips because of bad weather. But today, finally, we got a reasonably good weather. So we're all really excited to do this boat trip now. Ooh, wow, it's rocky here. When you go on one of these cruises, you get to see up-close views of the Needles Rocks and the lighthouse. In addition, you'll get to see the dramatic cork cliff face juxtaposed against the stunning 21 shades of Island Bay's colors, cliffs and sands. After the fantastic boat trip, I definitely recommend taking a stroll along Island Bay. This iconic beach is renowned for its multicolored cliffs, with 21 different shades of sand. The colors come from various minerals and iron oxides present in the rock layers, creating these vibrant stripes across the cliffs. The combination of reds, browns, yellows, and other hues against the white chalk cliffs and the blue of the sea is simply stunning. It's one of those you have to see it to believe its size. Right, let's make our way back up with the chairlift. One of the more interesting souvenir shops here is the Sand Shop, where you can fill a glass or plastic shade with layers of Island Bay 21 shades of sand, which has been a tradition here since the mid-1800s when Queen Victoria was presented one as a souvenir. If you have kids or just young in heart, you can try some of the fun things here too, like mini golf, carousel, teacups, and dino jeep safari. Well, here you can find the famous Marconi Monument, commemorating Guillermo Marconi's historic moment. In December 1897, Marconi set up his wireless equipment in the Royal Needles Hotel above Island Bay, transmitting the world's first wireless message to a ship at sea. Right, we're now going to walk to the other side, walk along the headland and see the cliff overhang. The walk to the old battery is about a mile, but if you rather not walk, you could hop on one of these open-top buses instead. This is the Needles Old Battery, and it sits high above the Needles at the very western tip of the island, with bird's-eye views of the Solent and unspoiled countryside. It's a Victorian fort built in 1862 for a war that never took place. It became known as one of Palmerston's follies after the politician that commissioned it, but it was called into action during both World Wars. Further up the headland stands the new battery. Here there is a small exhibition and a recreation of one of the rooms viewing the astonishing and little-known story of Britain's Cold War race for space, when British-made rockets were tested here under conditions of great secrecy. Nearby, there's a fantastic viewpoint where you can get a stunning view of the Needles and the lighthouse from land. It's probably the best spot to see these iconic chalk stacks without getting on the water. Perched 80 feet above sea level, the Needles Lighthouse casts its light up to 14 miles out to sea. Initially manned by a keeper and 3 assistants, it was automated in 1994. Despite its presence, the Needles have long posed a threat to shipping, with numerous vessels foundering on or near these rocks over the years. If you've been enjoying this travel adventure with us, please hit the like button below and consider subscribing to the channel for more travel experience with us. It's time to say goodbye to the Needles. As we drove to our next destination, we made a quick stop at Freshwater Bay, one of the most picturesque beaches on the Isle of Wight. Just like Island Bay, the beach here is covered in a blend of grey flint and chalk pebbles, creating a unique sound as the waves crash and recede. During extremely low tides, you can explore the caves at the base of the chalk cliffs, once used by smugglers to hide their contraband. It's a glimpse into the island's intriguing past, all set against a stunning coastal backdrop. For our trip to the Isle of Wight, we stayed in an area called Shanklin. It was getting dark when we arrived, so let's pick up our adventure the next morning. Our next attraction is the Shanklin Chai. But before we do that, we are going to take a stroll at the Shanklin Beach. Shanklin Beach is one of the island's most famous golden sand beaches and is your classic bucket and spade family beach holiday destination. Located on the southeast coast of the Isle of Wight, the beach backs onto a traditional English seaside promenade. Although the pier was destroyed by the hurricane of 1987, the southern end of the esplanade remains vibrant with hotels, pubs, and restaurants, while beach huts line the sea wall. A walk along the beach leads to the iconic Shanklin Chine, which we'll visit next. Opened to the public in 1817, Shanklin Chine quickly gained popularity as a must-visit destination for its romantic charm and picturesque landscapes. Chines are unique geological formations found along the coastline of the Isle of Wight. So what exactly is a chine? A chine is a deep, narrow ravine or gorge formed by the erosion of soft sandstone, typically carved out by streams and rivers over thousands of years. These natural wonders are very often characterized by the picturesque waterfalls, winding pathway, and lush vegetation. But before we walk through the chine, we'll have a quick look at the Heritage Room first. Here, you can learn about one of the World War II's most ambitious engineering projects, Operation Pluto, or Pipeline Under the Ocean. This incredible endeavor used 70 miles of undersea pipelines to transport fuel from the Isle of Wight to France, supporting the Allies during the Normandy invasion. Here, you can see a cross-section of the actual pipeline, along with a short film detailing how Pluto worked. It's amazing to think that this pipe could carry 56,000 gallons of fuel a day, undetected by the Germans. Now, we'll continue with our stroll of Shanklin Chine. As you explore Shanklin Chine, you'll be captivated by its stunning scenery. Cascading waterfalls glisten in the sunlight, while lush vegetation blankets the steep cliffs, offering a peaceful retreat from the noise of everyday life. One of the highlights at Shanklin Chine is its network of winding pathways, which lets you wander through this lush landscape at your own pace. As you walk, look out for hidden spots, quaint bridges, and colorful plant life that add to the chine's unique charm. After dark, the chine transforms with a magical glow from hundreds of lights. Your admission ticket allows re-entry within 7 days, so we got our ticket last night and experienced the chine's beautiful illuminations. It was an enchanting sight that felt almost otherworldly. Next, we'll be stepping back in time and visit the Isle of Wight Steam Railway. Nestled amidst the picturesque countryside, this heritage railway offers a nostalgic journey through the island's past. Well, we just got in and we're about to step on the steam train. How exciting! As we board the vintage steam train, we're transported to a bygone era of steam locomotion. The rhythmic chug of the engine, the billowing clouds of steam, and the clickety-clack of the tracks evoke a sense of nostalgia and wonder. The steam train ride starts at Haven Street and takes you through picturesque countryside to Wootton. While there's not much to do at Wootton, this is where the train turns round for the return journey. Well, our train has just arrived at the first stop, which is Wootton. So they're going to remove the engine from the front and attach it here so that the train will go back to Haven Street. This reversing process is quite interesting, so I recommend getting off the train to watch how it's done. Once you've seen the engine repositioned, you can hop back on for the return trip to Haven Street. When the train returns to Haven Street, Don't get off just yet. The journey isn't over yet. It continues on to Ashley Station, where I suggest you remain on board as the train heads to Smallbrook Junction. This is a useful stop for those who come to this attraction via public transport, as you can connect with the island's electric train service here. At Smallbrook Junction, the steam train reverses directions again. So if you missed watching the engine switch tracks at Wootton, here's your second chance to see it in action.
So I've been looking forward to this particular excursion since we booked it, and the experience is way better than my expectations. For those of us at a certain age, I was like between 5 and 6 years old when I first travelled in trains just like this kind of carriage, this noise from the front, the steam and the smoke. I used to nag my mum to take me to Carpenter's Park so that we could watch the London to Edinburgh Express race past, billowing smoke the whole time. This is just, for me, a real race back in time, triggering all sorts of I'm loving it to bits.
In addition to steam trains, there's also a unique Birds of Prey flying show on site. I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but we decided to check it out, and I was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed it. The show was both entertaining and educational, giving us a close-up look at these magnificent birds in action. Well, next we are going to visit the train story, which is the main museum of this place. And oh, there's a pile of coal there. So here in the yards, you can see a lot of the locomotives around, including this one. It was the one that pulled us earlier. Well, here you can find the Train Story Discovery Centre. Inside, you will find displays of their Victorian and Edwardian carriages, as well as some of their rare rolling stocks. Follow the timeline detailing the history of steam railways through to modern-day electric line and find out why May Joyce is such an important person to the history of the railways on the island. Well, behind me you will see something that looks quite familiar. That's because they used to be London Underground trains, and they have been converted to use for the island. Looks like we can go up to see the Island Line, formerly London Underground train. Oh, it does look like the tube. Look at that. Fish traffic only. Overall, we really loved the experience at the Isle of Wight Steam Railway. This is definitely one of the must-visit attractions of this island. Right, it's time for us to head to the next site. Our next attraction is the iconic Carisbrooke Castle. Perched atop a hill at the heart of the Isle of Wight, this fortress has stood the test of time and witnessed countless tales of triumph and tragedy. Originally a fortification, the Normans converted it into a castle in the 11th century. Ever since, this formidable fortress has served as a royal residence, a prison, and a military stronghold throughout its existence. During the English Civil War, Carisbrooke Castle became a prison for royalists, including King Charles I from 1647 to 1648. Following his failed escape attempts at Hampton Court, Charles I, hoping for freedom, found himself confined once more within the castle walls. Despite the efforts to negotiate with Parliament, he was eventually transferred to Newport and later London, where he faced execution in 1649. The final attraction is going to be Osborne House. Osborne House is a magnificent palace located on the Isle of Wight, known for its rich history and stunning architecture. It was built in the mid-19th century as a summer residence for Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, who designed much of the estates themselves, drawing inspiration from Italian Renaissance villas. Visitors to Osborne House can delve into its grand stateroom and get an intimate look at royal life by exploring the private apartments and reception areas. These rooms are adorned with exquisite furnishing and a remarkable collection of artworks from the royal collection. Beyond the house, the grounds are just as impressive. The landscape gardens feature beautiful terraces, exotic plants, and statues. You can stroll through the Swiss cottage gardens, where Victoria's children learned about gardening and housekeeping, or visit the private beach where the Queen herself enjoyed bathing and swimming with her family. As our time on the Isle of Wight draws to a close, it's time to catch the ferry back to the mainland. I hope you've enjoyed every moment of this adventure with us. If you would like more travel inspiration across the UK, watch one of these videos next, where I showcase some of the most incredible destinations in this country. This has been Ken from Ken Travel 360. Until next time, happy travels!